Guys, we're going to go ahead and get started, and then maybe we can be done on time as well. Good morning. How is everyone? Great. I'm proud of this many of you remembering that today is the Friday that is Lunch and Learn, because there wasn't a call-around reminder or anything like that. I am impressed that on a busy Friday that you could remember what it is that your priorities are. You had to get here pretty early to get a seat. So good to know that we have some good Baptists here. So, yeah, pray for me today. I certainly need it. Today we're going to cover some of the results that are in our application, in our Baldridge application. We're going to talk about student learning outcomes, what it is our students are getting when they leave here, a little bit about student satisfaction, and then what each one of us can do to contribute to that. I showed this quote at the last superintendent's forum, and after I actually show a little video clip, somebody else can help me be a clicker because I don't like being up here. But this is Dr. Jerry Wiest, and he is the former superintendent of Montgomery Public Schools. And he's talking about how Baldridge really changed their expectations for their students. And if you have time to go to their website, Montgomery County Public Schools, it's the third largest district in the country, and they have it together. They do. They know about continuous improvement. And if they can do it with their literally tens of thousands of kids K through 12, we certainly can do it. Their story's rather inspirational. If you'll click where it says ISD, I'm going to show you a really short clip about them and their organization, and then we'll talk some more about this.
Every year since its inception in 1987, the Baldridge Performance Excellence Program has identified organizations that have demonstrated quality and performance excellence and recognized them with the Malcolm Baldridge National Quality Award. The 2010 recipients join 84 previous honorees as the best of America's best in manufacturing, service, small business, education, healthcare, and nonprofit. Montgomery County Public Schools is a Baldridge recipient.
As I hear those swollen waters with their deep and solemn roar, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
People don't move to Montgomery County for the big buildings and the cheap taxes. They move here for the quality of education. And now everybody here believes in their heart that they actually can make a difference. From the bus driver to the cook to the person who sweeps the floors to the teacher to the paraeducator, all the way up to the central office, everybody believes there are no other kids. They're all our kids. And all of them can be college ready. When they graduate,
Ay, la misma cosa. Have you had any experiences with that?
now we're keeping track of our kids all the way through college. And we now know the juice is worth the squeeze because we're getting them out of college at twice the rate that America is. For 60%, almost, of our kids out of every class that graduates, and we're graduating more than 10,000 kids, very diverse group, get a bachelor's degree within 6 years, a bachelor's degree or an associate's arts degree. What we've done is put together a string of wins based on a continuous improvement, based on all of us feeling like we could get better. And it's changed the way we look at children, changed our expectations, changed the way that we look at outcomes, helped us look higher
Thanks for watching BCC and have a prison life.
What engages children is a commitment kind of organization that is always getting better, enabling them to stretch and grow.
You want to be pushing the sound forward so that it's a richer, clearer sound and so that it carries out to the audience, okay?
We've actually increased market share of our total enrollment from the private schools in the last decade. And we hold on to our employees 4 times better than the national average. We have 25 high schools. I make 22 graduations on the average every year. And I shake their hands. I know it's more than just a graduation ceremony. It's a chain. It goes all the way from birth, all the way through college and into the workplace. And we have prepared them because we have set outcomes that we want every child to hit. We'll just keep progressing. We're not going to slow down. The people who run this system work in this system and go to this system and support this system. This is a continuous, ongoing process.
Congratulations to Montgomery County Public Schools. It has taken its place on the honor roll of Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award recipient.
Amanda's working on it. They have impressive results. I'm going to show you some of our results today. They're pretty darn impressive too. They really are. We might not have, did you see how many teachers they ever heard when you saw? 10,000. 10,000 teachers. 22 high schools. I also wanted to let you know, the reason why we wanted an education winner from 2010, they're the last education institution at North Baldrige. There wasn't an education in 2011. There wasn't one in 2012. So that's why I went back to 2010. They're the most recent education award winner. I'm going to show you some of our results, some of our incredible results that I would match up to Montgomery County any day. I certainly did not go to 22 high school graduations and shake 10,000 kids' hands. In fact, this year, usually I'm the MC and I'm talking at graduation. It's really surprising. But this year I was on the stage shaking hands, and I will tell you something really. I wore a right hand ring that night, which I don't usually wear, but it's kind of a dress up night. Big mistake. Wearing the right hand. I never even thought of that, shaking 300 kids' hands. So about 50 or 75 through, I kind of set that ring off and put it on my other hand. So that was my continuous improvement. Don't wear a right hand ring if you're going to shake the hands of 300 people. Okay, you're going to have to kind of put your brains on and put your science hats on. So I might get Renee, and I don't know if Karen in here, and Jason, some of the other scientists, the nursing teachers and the dental teachers to help me. We're all scientists today. And so I want you to look at our results as a scientist would look at results. So the blue bar is us. Then we separate the results out by adult and high school. So red's high school, red's adult, green's high school. Yellow is the average for all of the 29 technology centers in Oklahoma. And the purple is our KPM. And our KPM is benchmarked against the top 5 technology centers in Oklahoma. So that's where we get our KPMs from. Where we can, sometimes we can't, because there's not anyone to compare against. But where we can, that's where that number comes from. And if this graph were exploded just for this part, you could really see the significant difference between this bar and this bar. This is our best result out of all the results that we have. This is our most successful thing that we do. We get kids to walk across the stage and they stay in school. We're number 1 in the state for doing that. We're number 1 in the state for doing that. It's keeping kids in school and getting them to walk across that stage. even though every time we lose one, you guys will tell me stories and go to the mat fighting to keep one more kid. And Jeanette will say, oh my gosh, I'm afraid we're going to lose another one because of attendance. Or Brent might say, he's going to go over on attendance because of his behavior and he got suspended. What we do is by far better than what everybody else is doing. Let's look at the next one, Darlene. This is our licensure and our certification rate. These are the students that have a national license or state-recognized credential associated with their program, or that passed a work keys exam. No one else measures things how we do, so I can't show you how everybody else did to compare against, because nobody else will share their data or tell us how it is that we did. But I know how we did, and we're doing pretty darn good. 99% of our students pass some kind of a credential. That's all of our students. That's not taking out the students that have IEPs or might have other learning difficulties or that were only here for 360 hours. The 360s are in there too. The 360s are in there too. That's incredible, I think. I think that's outstanding. Would the high school be happy if 99% of their students passed their EOIs? Yeah, pretty sure they would be. Let's look at the next one. This is our placement. Again, this is one of those kind of mixed up ones, so you'll have to kind of focus here with me. Same. Blue is purple. Sorry. Blue is our KPM. So how do we get our KPM? The average of the top five. If we can find out who it is, that's where we get that from. So that's the average of the top five schools. Red is us. Green is adult. Yellow is high school, and then purple would be all the 29 average together. And then you can see how we're going. In 2012, we didn't have all that. I don't have some of those numbers yet. That's why some of the graphs aren't colored in. Again, this is where the proof is in the pudding. Why is it that we're here? Get students jobs, get students in the military, or get them to go on to post-secondary education. And look how high our bar is, how high our number is. And this top five average is kind of skewed a little bit, the science people in the room, because we're in it. So when I average the top five schools, we're one of the top five. We're making our own curve go higher. We're making our own curve go higher when we do the KPM.
So,
Incredible result. Yeah, John, I'm sorry.
okay, maybe I'm just really confused, which
No.
is a good possibility.
No, that's okay.
So did we not meet our KPMs in 2009?
We have not, no.
11?
You know what, last school year was the first year that we met all of our KPMs. No, we did not.
So related placement, we don't have KPMs.
Right. Absolutely. No, we have not always met our KPMs in all areas. And early on, in some of these years, we didn't have as scientific of a way as coming up with our KPM. We learned that from our Baldrige journey. It wasn't just a number that we looked at and came up with. We wanted it to mean something. So the KPM wasn't as scientifically based then as it is now. It's a good measure now of where we should be. And the top five performers, they're not our equivalent size. There's some of the big boys in there. Deanne was telling me how she went to visited a big boy yesterday, went to Francis Tuttle and got to see some of their facilities and saw their culinary arts, David, and they were telling me stories. Yeah, those guys are in here too. So it's not just the medium-sized schools. We're being judged against all of them, no matter how much their ad valorem valuation is worth, no matter how many students they are, and we're still doing better. We're still doing better. Let's look at the next one. I think there's one more. These are our wages. These are our wages. You can see our KPM again. This is us, the average of high school and adult together. Green is adult, yellow, you would expect the high school graduates to have a lower wage. And then purple is the 29, the 29 school average. So just kind of block out and just look at our little red bar. In a time when the economy has been going down, the average wage has been going down in some instances. We're continuing to do well and to hang in there. I'm really looking forward to seeing the number. I actually called, I am a nerd, a data nerd, so I called the late Ruth Beast, beautiful lady, in Stillwater, the Oklahoma Department of Career Tech. I said, Ruth, that follow-up was due a long time ago. I don't see the averages on the state website. When are you gonna, am I missing something? Am I not clicking in the right place? And she said, oh, we haven't updated that data yet, but I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad someone's looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to have those numbers. This is an outstanding number, outstanding for students that are working predominantly in a rural area that are still making incredible living wages. It's something that we definitely can be proud of. Another way we measure student learning, and this is for high school students, is SREB. The SREB assessment, I know you hear about that, but the assessment, the test that the students take every other year, that a sample of students take, is an excellent measure, just an overall picture of how students are doing. Now, we can't pinpoint it down because it's a sample of our kids, but we have made some incredible gains in our tech centers that work. Again, blue is us, red is the average of the schools that are involved in tech centers that work, green are the highest scoring sites, and then yellow is the goal. Tech centers that work establish goals that students should be meeting if they are going to be college and career ready. And it's research-based stuff that we have to trust them, that whatever magic that they did to come up with that goal, that it's a good number. That's okay, no problem. At your table, this is where the science part comes in. We kind of did the scientific process backwards. This was our result. I just showed you some, I can't show you all, of our results for our student learning. How in the heck did we get there? Trudy and the nurses had another school visiting today to want to copy us, want to copy our model because we've had so much success. How do we have the highest completion retention in the state of Oklahoma? How have we maintained our wages in a time that a lot of people are just happy to have a job, let alone have a decent wage sharing job? So that's what this sheet of paper is about. Use the paper at your table to think of 5 things we do. Don't think of something that's on the intranet under processes. Don't think of that. What are just 5 things that we do that has resulted in that outstanding data that I just showed you? Yeah, just write it on. Just write it on there.
What is this, like a musical chair?
Chair, everybody wants on. Everybody wants
He
on.
pointed at me and said, somebody's going to click, and that's like,
I just slipped in and said,
If we
So late that I turned earlier, wasn't it?
It was.
All right.
So for brainstorming, when you brainstorm, you just like everybody around everybody says.
Hey, I got it.
Every single
What you say?
when you
The foundation.
okay, so when we brainstorm, you just like write a bunch of stuff down and then you come back and read it. Is that okay?
that helps me. I don't like to tie down that.
Brainstorm, you just go around. Right. Foundation.
Go.
trying to go
Can
out.
I do this?
Yeah.
I don't know, is they're brand new? Or if it's switch or what, straight.
There you go. This thing gives me Wi-Fi.
Because I have my kitchen. It's your turn.
Well, there we go. Say goodbye.
Right.
Program champion.
That burns your house down.
Any ideas? He's going on tour. Well, do they, or do they go to?
I'll look at the camera. I want people to look at that later.
No, I don't. I'm particularly
How about SREB initiatives? Citizen work initiatives? How about key practices? SREB key practices?
Yeah. I have, yeah, I went to the.
Paradigm.
Oh, see.
No, don't put that, I'm just being stupid.
Whatever we call it.
Yes.
Yeah, the tab, the verified tab. Yeah. That's just kidding.
Is the bare minimum good enough for you? Is that Let's go with that. Make this a phone. No, I think you're doing it. Right?
No, I
And cash bar at summer goals.
hang on just a second.
Right. You gotta learn how to play.
I'm very good about
You guys have 2 minutes. Think fast. You're smart. Something to accomplish when you're in it.
Sit free for it. Anybody else? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It's just my voice.
I think I did. You're right. So when I was saying
Really?
He's got a smile.
How can you tell which there's a car in the meeting? How can you tell? How their sunglasses will pop there.
Right here, you see? And they got on tax card from him.
Can you give us?
Kendall, I can hear you. You can take the teacher out of the classroom. Yes, I know.
We're packing.
Okay, gang, time's up.
Really big chip shy flicks.
Time's up. Do we have a volunteer table to share first what they got? Thank you, Miss Michelle. Oh, or Lacey. Guys, let's turn around. Let's give Lacey and Michelle our attention.
Our first one is our program champions. We think they've helped so much. And selection process up front may have helped that, how we select our students. Communication with partner schools. Anyone can communicate. They seem to be a lot more open to calling if needed. Parent Connect nights. Extra attention to certification and testing. And attention to students' needs outside of teaching, like food, clothing, that kind of thing, or personal needs, or furniture. And since we did 6, we consider ourselves overachievers.
Those are excellent. Okay, Kim's table has some things to share.
And we're overachievers too. We did 6. Foundation. That's one way with the financial assistance and the tuition is helping to keep those kids in school. Program champions have in each area have their own extra set of adult bodies there to help out with those kiddos. Literacy and numeracy activities, SREB initiatives, small learning communities, and building individual relationships with the students. Can we go next? We'll stop filming.
Very good. Thank you, Kim.
You
Jolene, you're welcome to go next. Oh, and
we have like 8 or something.
thank you, Vanna. All right.
Vinny.
All right. Educated and dedicated instructors.
Amen.
All right. Safe, clean, inviting learning environments. Clean, I say that. Food box program. Superb support staff. Thank you. Foundation help, scholarships, free or reduced price services, maybe cosmetology or something like that. Help with personal issues to allow students to continue their education, and building personal relationships.
Another table want to volunteer. All right, Michelle and Sina.
We allow kids to make up absences when they go over. Work keys, key train, and literacy focus. The ACT prep, which all leads to college readiness focus. Portfolios incorporated into the regular curriculum. Instructors here care, they develop relationships, which I notice every table has said that. The black box philosophy, but we don't, was it called the success tabs?
Yeah.
It is
Success
now.
tab now. And the focus on student organizations provides leadership training and community focus for the kids.
That was very good.
Oh, we had 7.
They had 7. Okay, thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
Okay. We only had 6. Somebody kept talking about spraying and sandblasting and running and stuff. Getting us off the subject. But our first one was Tech Centers Network, the Literacy Initiative. We thought that was one of the most important ones. Small learning groups, I feel that is important. They may be abstained because I'm prejudiced toward that, but they still come in second. Portfolio, employability. Students leaving with a good portfolio, something that they can demonstrate, show when they go out and look for their jobs. Student leadership activities, CTSOs, update training, and other professional development activities, we think really helps let the students know that we're staying on top of that which we teach. And then the Food for Thought program. Our kids are hungry a lot of times, and so we're trying to continue working to get them fed.
That's very good. Okay, Jennifer and Tammy.
Okay, we decided that we wanted to share that we teach competent exams. We do competencies, it's like a lockstep method. So our students never go forward unless they learn what they need to know to go to the next step. Obviously, professional development, our teachers have to know what's going on, what's successful with teaching strategies. We're good data collectors and data sharers. Job placement by networking, we introduced them to the dental community here in town and other locations, so they have a good step to get a job when they leave here. Admission standards, they're very rigid, so when we get them, it's a rigorous curriculum, and so they have to go through a procedure. We kind of thin them out, and so we feel like by the time we get them, we have the cream of the crop sometimes, I feel like, in a way. And also, too, the calibration issue with faculty, because we all have to calibrate. There's so many different sites. If we're not calibrated and doing the same thing, then we're not as successful.
Not everyone has shared. Thank you, Brent.
We really don't need to hold ours up. We did have, we had 6 ideas on there, but every one of them have been covered by the group. We did mention success guides as being one of the major factors, program champion involvement, the small learning communities, which goes in step with the success guides, the SREB involvement, our focus on data, and the overall quality journey were things that we felt like had contributed to all of our great data and outcomes throughout the years.
Tara? Okay.
Again, listed pretty much everything that everybody else did, but admission and selection criteria so that we make sure that we are reviewing our applicants and we have quality students here as well and being able to help them out. Key training work keys, building and cultivating relationships not only with our students but with the parents. Our partner school relationships, those counselors and the teachers at the partner schools are very instrumental when we are trying to get the word out about why Tri-County is important. And then, of course, our innovative teaching methods with the use of the small learning communities.
That's very good. Kendall, did you want to share what you had at your table?
We only had 4, but we used 5 lines. We had max teaching, understanding students' needs like poverty training, SREB, and program champions.
Very good. The beginning part of the actual word, the writing part of our application, these are the kinds of things that we wrote about, that we talked about, things that all of us do every day. And sometimes I think we take those things for granted, the things that, what does make us special and how have we been so outstanding? I really don't think one thing you can say one thing is linked to one result. It's all of that combined together. I do want to go back before I go on to the next part to our cards. We always have to keep in the back of our mind, you're actually going to get homework. I know you'll never go to another lunch and learn. Who's facilitating today? Oh, no, not Tammy, because you are going to get homework tonight. But what we're in it for is to inspire success through life-changing learning experiences. That's really why we're all here. This is just how we choose to measure some of those things. I also, on the back of the card, are strategic aims. Does anybody remember what they are? Can you tell? You don't have to tell them to me. but can you kind of think of them and tell them to yourself? Kim said she does. Can you? And really, no. You know, Jamie's been helping us with some memory devices to help. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening to some. I just listened to Susan and Kim actually. How they remember it is they remember it by the people. That's actually, I remember things in pictures sometimes and not just in words. So I remember the strategic aims are aligned with senior leadership. You might not remember the strategic aims, but I know you know who senior leadership is. Myself and Kim and Tiffany and Larry. So maybe that can what can help, you know, jog your memory with the strategic aims. You know, Tammy, what's the main thing she does? Oh, she does instruction and learning excellence. Well, what's Kim do? Well, she does the money, fiscal and operational effectiveness. What does Larry do? Economic and community development. What does Tiffany do? I know, when you find out what Larry does, let me know. I heard it. Yeah, Tiffany's in charge of employee development and well-being. So I do need door prizes. That's what the solo cups are. No, that's for later today after 5. Okay, so those are the 4 strategic aims. So what is important about the strategic aims is we have to talk about not just the processes like program champions and Black Box and some of our enrollment processes that are incredible and have been benchmarked. We talk about narrowing those down to what their words are core competencies. Core competencies. So kind of just remember that. There's not going to be a test on it later. But the strategic aims are what our core competencies are. That's what we're best in the world at. We're best in the world at instructional and learning excellence, fiscal and operational effectiveness, economic and community development, and employee development and well-being. Those are the things that make us stand out. All the other things that we do are underneath those 4 things, but those are the big titles that make us so outstanding. You know, they're going to be here, I don't know when yet, but sometime in August or September, and they'll be in your classrooms. They'll be in the halls. The examiners are going to be talking to all of us, and not just to memorize what are the 4 strategic aims. Oh my gosh, don't tell me. It's Kim, it's Tammy, and it's Tiffany. It's really knowing them and what it means to you, how you contribute to some of our success. Let's look at some of our. I only have a few more graphs to show you because I know you can't look at graphs all day long. I can't either, even though that's actually what I like to do. At the end of each semester of full-time programs, the students complete a student satisfaction survey. The teachers in the room are familiar with that process. We used to do it on the Scantrons with pieces of paper and pencil, and we'd put them in an envelope, and there'd be a note on it from me, and you'd give them back at the end. Does that sound familiar? But now we got all modernized. It was someone's bright idea. Maybe Carrie's. Was it your bright idea? Yeah. Great bright idea. You haven't gotten your light bulb. Okay. Well, we'll get you a light bulb. To do the process electronically on Zoomer, which it really helped Deanne a lot. She'd have to go through all those and write down all the comments, and it helped us get our data back much quicker. But that's what these results are. So the average is the green and the red averaged together. Okay? So to me that tells us a little bit, but not that much. But this is what I thought was kind of neat. Taking out the classroom category and the instructor category. And I don't want you to be sad that we've gone down, that our bar's gone down a little bit of our student satisfaction. Because above a 4.5 on a 5-point Likert scale, that is incredible. I mean, that is awesome. Maintaining that is awesome. So we've gone down, you know, a pinch. That really is not that significant to me. But what is significant is if you look at the difference between classroom things and teacher things, what students are the most satisfied with. And I think that's pretty telling about all of us and the people in this room about what keeps kids coming back, students coming back, what they talk about when they leave here. And they may talk about the classroom and the books and, you know, the facilities and some of that. That's important. That needs to be good, and it is. But what they really is important to them and what they feel is quality is you, is all of you. So I think that's good stuff. The next one, Strategy Center kind of does the same thing. So when their Strategy Center training, they ask their students as well. It's not just full-time. And you can see their instructor average, classroom average, about the same gap that it is for full-time, and their overall average. Another way, the next one, Darlene, that we measure student satisfaction outcomes is enrollment. How many students are coming through the door? Blue's adult, red's high school, green is our total enrollment, and yellow is what our capacity is. And as you can see, our enrollment has been purposefully increasing. Now, we've created programs to help with that increase to get to our Vision 2020 goal for enrollment. Does anyone know what it is? I wish I had a prize. Larry!
15,000.
15,000! I do know what Larry does now. Good job, Larry. Thank you. Thank you very much. 15,000. Our goal is to have 15,000 enrollments by the year 2020. That doesn't mean we're going to have 15,000 full-time students, okay, by the year 2020. Larry's really familiar with that number because most of those enrollments are going to come from him. Are going to come from the Strategy Center and the work that Erica and her team do, where most of those enrollments are going to come from. So our enrollment has been purposefully increasing on the full-time side. Students talk. Do you know that? They talk to each other. If they weren't happy about what we are doing, they would not come back. They tell their friends. I don't know if you've ever asked kids just on your own the first couple of days of school, why are you here? Oh, my cousin was in here 5 years ago. My brother, my sister, my best friend, my mom was here. My dad was here. That doesn't get better than that. Those kinds of recommendations that to keep them coming back. This is our total enrollment. This is getting us to our 15,000. So this is Larry plus Erica plus full-time. What our total enrollment is. Why do you think I have to tell these stories in our application? So maybe you guys can help me write. What happened in 2011? Does anybody know? Close the program. Yeah, we did. We did close the program. It wasn't a big one though. I mean, it would have been like 30 or 40 that went down. We did close TechWorks. Something really significant happened in 2000 through there. Do you guys remember? That's when we rebranded the Strategy Center. That's when we hired Larry. That's when we hired Larry. That's what Actually,
that's why it went down?
No. That's what this increase is about. That's what that increase is about. I know. Tough crowd. In all honesty, we did, Tammy and Brady, you're right. We did close some programs, some full-time programs. But the bulk of what makes those bars move is on Larry's side, is the Strategy Center. So we actually stepped back and kind of took a break for a minute on the Strategy Center. Kind of caught our breath to look at what we wanted to be when we grew up. Regrouped about our 15,000, hired Larry, and our focus changed some for not just being about enrollments, which is all I have on these graphs I'm showing you. What's another thing important to us besides enrollment that Kim shows us every Friday for me? Revenue. Yeah, some of you guys said revenue. revenue's important too. Revenue's important too. They go hand in hand on Larry's side. Actually, for full-time, the more students we have, the more money you guys cost me. But on Larry's side, the enrollment is linked to revenue, and that's important too. We also measure, another new measure, I think, of student satisfaction is Facebook. It's how many people have liked our page. And I'm sorry, Jamie, we haven't updated this with the new big, drum roll. We have 1,000 likes now on Facebook. So yeah, that is outstanding. But that is a way to people communicate their satisfaction, and it also is a way that people communicate their dissatisfaction. People might write a complaint on Facebook, and we have a process for taking care of it. Like, let's just say, I don't know, a snow day. That we were open, or that we weren't open, or that, they saw a snowflake 500 miles away from here, or whatever it was. But honestly, we take all that feedback seriously, and we want our customers to be satisfied. And if enough people keep saying the same thing, that's something we need to listen to. That's something that's important. Because Facebook is a good measure, a measure that you wouldn't think of measuring for our satisfaction. And I think 1,000 likes is pretty outstanding. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit harder. Okay? Thinking of student outcomes separate. You guys wrote down all the student measures for like testing and completion. What about the satisfaction? How do we keep students satisfied and want to keep coming back that is different, that you have not already written down? That you have not already written down. Okay? Write down 5 things that you have not already written down.
Like someone schedule. In my opinion, things that kids need, the students use their income. Well, I mean, mine is so my kids
Guys, we're going to do this in the back. We're almost to the 1 minute mark. Okay? A minute and a half. Things that make students happy. Things that make them satisfied. What has affected that student satisfaction data that we looked at? Full-time students, Larry students, Erica students, all students in the world.
Sorry.
It's good. Mine is. I just wasn't sure you said Snoop Dogg. That's what I
Hey
thought.
guys, write down your last one or whatever the best thing is that you're talking about. It doesn't have to be censored.
That is so over you know, it's just
Just write down your last thing.
showing.
I will let you go first, Okay guys, we're gonna share real quick, but I want you to pick just one. And for Jolene, one that no one else has said, and I'll let Jolene and her table go first. Okay, so just one. We're gonna do turbo round.
Okay, we're going with internships and on-the-job training.
That was our first.
Yes!
There you go. Thank you, Jolene. If you have that one written down, cross it off. Okay, who's next?
We'll go. Real world
Okay.
experience is not just busy work.
Real world experiences, not just busy work. That is a great one. Thank you, Renee. Okay, Michelle.
Friendly, safe environment.
Friendly, safe environment. That's excellent. Thank you. Tara. Highly educated instructors. That's a really good one. Okay, Abby.
We talked about how we foster relationships with grads and their employers so that they network together. People have direct calls. Hey, I have a job opening here. I'd like somebody from Lowe's or from
That's awesome. Did everybody hear Abby's? No. Foster relationship with graduates and their employers. So if a grad already is employed somewhere, they're going to call their teacher and let them know they need more employees or that they need. That's awesome. That was a good one. Thank you. Who has another there? Top one. Top one. Jason?
You said quality lab time, which is similar to.
Yeah, quality lab time. That's a great one.
In the community, we ask them what they want us to, what they need workers trained on, and we train for that.
That's very good.
Updated technology and curriculum, stay on top of it.
Yeah, technology and curriculum. That's great. Who hasn't gone? Back at the bus, Angie.
We decided ours was Larry Thrash.
Okay.
I would say, increase their income, increase their self-worth, and make them more productive members of our community. And that's it. That's the best outcome we can have, because if we get something back from that too.
That's beautiful.
I didn't hear all that.
Yeah, say that again, Cedar. Really loud. That was wonderful.
Increasing their income by training them gives them a better self-worth. They can become a more productive member of society and then give back to us. So it's the full circle.
Okay, we only have two more things to talk about. We're going to be out here at 12:30. What's our next one, Darlene? I told you about homework. You have homework, and this is serious homework, and not probably next Friday at Superintendent's Forum, but maybe, but for sure the next Friday, some of you are going to get to share your homework with the class. Okay? Okay? So what I want you to think about the next Superintendent's Forum is how do you impact Tri-County's vision? How do you impact the vision? Inspiring success through life-changing learning experiences. You need to have, rip a sheet of paper off. This is your homework. Very serious homework. I'm not fooling around. 2 minutes. You're going to have a 2-minute story of how you have impacted success through life-changing learning experiences. This is the most important thing the examiners will be asking us, You need to be focused in your story. I don't want to go down too many bunny trails along the way. I know you probably have a ton of stories you'd love to tell. It could be in context of your job here. It might not be in context of your job. It might be where Kim mentored a student for a contest that won first place, and they got to go on an airplane for their very first time. Well, that really doesn't have anything to do with being a CFO, but it certainly was a life-changing learning experience, okay? Or it could be in context of your job. A story about one person, one experience that you can name. I'm not going to ask you to tell me right now. I just want you to be thinking about it and narrowing that down. That's what the examiners are going to be asking. That's what they want to know. More than the mission of Tri-County is to provide superior training. Well, that's lovely. It really is. What do you do at Tri-County? How do you impact that mission? What have you done? So tell them something specific that they can put their hat on. The last thing I wanted to share with you was, if you want more information, I know you do. There are 2 terrific websites that you can go to. This is the Oklahoma Quality website, and it's easy breezy, oklahomaquality.com. And then the National Baldrige website is nist.gov/Baldrige. Baldrige is actually a division of the federal government, which is what that is, and the NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards. What's the T? Technology? National Institute of Standards and Technology. And so they're part of a government agency, basically. So their website is awesome. There's a lot of stuff in there. But if you just are curious and want to learn more, Oklahoma Quality is interesting because the Oklahoma Quality Foundation, although there are hundreds of examiners that will come here and will help examine applications, the actual foundation is a one-woman operation. No assistant, no big staff. It is one lady, Heather Griswold, that runs the whole Oklahoma Quality Award Foundation. And so if you went on the website and you got back to your room and picked up the number and called, hey, Heather, this is Lisa, and I'm a teacher at Tri-County Tech. And I was wanting to know, she answers the phone. The phone number on the website forwards to her cell phone, and I have never called her when she has not picked up. So just kind of think about that in the background when you think, oh my gosh, I've had quite a week. You know, the Oklahoma Quality Award Foundation is a one-woman show. I want to leave you with just a short, kind of a funny, cute little video about teamwork, and then we're done. So thank you, Vanna. Some of you may have seen this. It's called Teamwork in Reverse.
I am a member of a dysfunctional team, and I do not accept that the people I work with care about my success and happiness, and I refuse to believe I can change. I realize this may be a bit of a surprise, but together each achieves more is simply not true. People work here just for the money. Everyone knows my priorities. My own personal success is more important than my team's success. I feel that my coworkers are more likely to stab me in the back than watch my back. I do not think that my fellow team members will say only good things about me when I am not present. In the future, I anticipate that I will receive more information through the grapevine than through proper channels. I do not believe that every interaction will embody trust, collaboration, and candor. Not in my workplace. Negativity will be rampant. Respect will be minimal. Blaming and finger-pointing, which will take precedence over accountability, will impact results in the overall work environment. I envision that there is no hope for me, my team, and my organization, unless we take active steps to reverse it. Unless we take active steps to reverse it, there is no hope for me, my team, and my organization. I envision that the overall work environment will impact results, and accountability will take precedence over blaming and finger-pointing, which will be minimal. Respect will be rampant. Negativity, not in my workplace. Trust, collaboration, and candor will embody every interaction. I do not believe that I will receive more information through the grapevine than through proper channels. I anticipate that in the future, my fellow team members will say only good things about me when I am not present. I do not think that my coworkers are more likely to stab me in the back than watch my back. I feel that my team's success is more important than my own personal success. Everyone knows my priorities. People work here just for the money is simply not true. Together, each achieves more. I realize this may be a bit of a surprise, but I can change. The people I work with care about my success and happiness, and I refuse to believe, and I do not accept, that I am a member of a dysfunctional team.
It really is how you look at things. It really is how you look at things. Thank you guys for coming today. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.